Hey guys, it's back. I'm back. Hey, how we doing? Everybody doing good, I hope. Just so you know, everybody's like, I had somebody say, are you doing, instead of me breaking this into an hour, I broke it into many different bits. So that is why I still have on the same shirt. I am not into the next day wearing the same outfit. I literally have taken 2 hours of material and broken it down to increments of anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes for you guys. So that's what I'll be doing in order to ensure that you are being fed something every day and given some interest, some information, excuse me, if you will, about the topic that I have for this Wellness Month. But I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware that that is what's going on. I'm not putting on my Mr. Rogers outfit, which is my hat, although the hat will probably become very big of a symbol of what I believe in because it's something that makes me feel uniquely who I am. I love to wear hats. And so, because of my love for hats, I feel most comfortable wearing them. When I'm on a podcast, or even when you see me in person, you're like, is that the she got a hat on. That's her. All right, especially newspaper boy hats. I've been wearing these since I was a kid. It's one of my things. So, anyway, let's get into it, shall we? First, and thank you for all things coming on board and taking some time to listen into what I got to say today. But we're talking about capability, right? We've been talking about those three cores. What were those three? One more time. Let's go again. Core values, communication, and what? Sharing goals. Okay, so we're on number 4. Now, we've discussed so far about the chemistry that we have within a relationship of compatibility, right? Being compatible with someone. We've discussed those must haves. In that duration of that time frame, we've not only discussed those things, specifically the chemistry as well, but also we've gone through and alluded to some of the reasons why, the signs of capability. So let's go on. I think we're at number 4 when it comes to where we are at with that, another subject, or should I say the same subject, but another point of view. All right, or in somebody. So, what did somebody say the other day? POV, point of view. We use a lot of acronyms here in this world. Sometimes they end up really coming together and just being a bunch of muddle. So I'm going to speak the words completely out for you all and say point of view. All right, you want to tell them everything. Compatibility. Talking about compatibility. Let's get it back. Strong friendship is a pillar of partner compatibility. Your partner is more than a romantic interest. They are the one you want to share your life with first. Telling them all kinds of news. Like if you get something that comes up, you're like, oh, I gotta tell you something happened good. And they're the same person. Oh, guess what? I gotta tell you something that happened to me last week. Or, yeah, everything's about the same. So it's all, still normal, maybe boring, but your mundane life, you feel like, oh my God. And they're like, your day is never boring. And they start pumping you up and you pump each other up. And every time you get off the phone, you're feeling good about life again. That is what we're talking about, people. That is what we're talking about. But it could be cathartic, right? So you want to provide each other support. You want to make sure you trust that person. And then you remain in each other's what corners. Like if I get pouty and I'm upset and you're looking at me, and if you're pouty too, we might go, and then we're like, you know what was he pouting about? It happens. This isn't a strong relationship, a strong friendship. That's why a lot of times people are like, man, I really like so and so. He's a good friend. Have you ever thought about them as a love interest? No, not at all. No, they're like family. There's different people who in your life are good friends. It's not ever. I remember when I was younger, I had this. I got to tell you this story where I had the people that they used to go to the same. I guess in this case we can say place of worship with that I went to with my parents, and at the time, um, one of the individuals, I think the husband passed away, so the wife was left alone and single. So then they had, it was a couple, two couples, and then his wife, the other person, uh, his wife passed away, and they ended up together. And they were friends, but they were so compatible in different relationships, but in their friendship, that they decided that they would want to see if it would evolve into something more. And it did. Those things shouldn't surprise anyone, all because that person was part of that person's life for 20 and something odd years. And the reason why they were able to lean on each other is to get strength to go through the fact that both of them lost loved ones. So there's always reasons why people are brought together, right? The question is, are they compatible enough to stay together? And so that's why people say friends are you should always be friends with someone. Doesn't mean you got to be friends with them first. I'm not speaking about Love Island people where, you be with somebody for like 6 weeks and then your friend. And so now that y'all friends, you think you can be more than friends. That does not mean that that's going to be a great relationship at all. It's how you get to things when you have to deal with conflicts and problems outside of where you're at to see if you truly are meant to be together. And that's what shows the longevity of a relationship and the strength of the compatibility of a relationship. Period. All right. So let's see. There are always going to be a long term relationship. There's always quirks, right? They always show up. You can always bet on that. The initial spark of a connection makes it easy to conceal or overlook mannerisms. Like, I don't know why she keeps saying the F bomb. I really wish they just didn't say that all the time. Or I don't like when they say GD. It's really annoys me. It annoys me so much. I wish they would stop saying that word or stop saying the name. And that's not God's name. I'm just saying, but you say it all the time. Sometimes you don't even notice it when you're first with somebody because you're like, oh yeah, you both have a moment and you're like, he's like, what the? And you're like, did he just say? Or did she just do that? Why is she throwing fingers out at everybody in the car when we're driving? Giving everybody the bird. Why is she, whenever she gets upset, she gets pouty like a little princess and I don't get to talk to them? Or why does he sit up there and put a hand through a wall because I had an argument with him or I didn't agree with him on something? And it wasn't really an argument. I just didn't agree. And all of a sudden his hand goes through there. What's with his temperament? These are things you have to look out for, period. Okay. You and your partner are able to appreciate one another's distinctive traits. Okay. Quirkiness. Let's see, what would be a good quirk? This person likes to, every time you tell them something, they don't believe you, so they got to research it. Or they believe you, but they want to know more. That might be part of intellectual stimulation. They may be that person that says, wow, you make me think about that. Let's look. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look and see what it says because I have never heard that before. Totally different, but then they start doing that. You're like, damn, do they not believe I know what I'm talking about? And then they read it and they go, oh my God, I didn't know that. You mentioned that, but I didn't believe it. And you're like, okay, every time I say something, you're not going to believe it or you got to see it. And then you realize it's not about you. They truly didn't know that. They want to see every part of that information that you gave them. They want to be able to read every percent of that. I mean, it could be something as simple as botanical gardens, and you're like, yeah, I go there on such and such time. They have different events, and you're like, and they're thinking to themselves, well, if they like the botanical gardens and I like botanical gardens, but I didn't even know they had events like that, let me go look and see what they have because I might want us to have a date there. You don't know. So don't be so quick to judge and don't be so quick to say anything. But now, those are quirks. The other part of it was me saying the inconsistencies where you just simply, their mannerisms are horrible. You just don't like them. They eat with their mouth open. They talk while they're eating. Some people may not care for that. I'm one of them. I prefer you didn't talk to me while you have food in your mouth. Just saying. Eh, you can ask my family. They'll tell you. I ain't got time for that. I'd rather you just don't do that because I ain't got time to be looking at you with the food all over here and the napkins be ridiculous. You desire closeness. When you are compatible with someone, intimacy in all forms becomes more impelling. You want more than a sexual connection. You want to attune to your partner and to be known in depth in return. One another's emotions, past, hopes carry a high level of interest. There is a reciprocal effort in learning more about each other and expanding your capacity for affection. So you basically want to reciprocate, right? You want to show that you really are interested in that person, and you want to do such by either speaking it or showing it, or both. Both is always better. There's a mutual consideration. The partner capability means taking one another into account. While you may not always have the same needs, you consider and ask about the other one's feelings. Hey, I would like Italian. I'm just being silly because I've heard this a lot of times. People say, "Well, she don't even like to eat what I eat." Does well, what does she like to eat? Do you not like to eat what she eats? I mean, what are we talking about here? So it's just let's get real. Let's get serious. I mean, unless you're making Italian, maybe that's what it is. She prefers to go to Italy. Just kidding. All right. So you and your partner both invest in understanding that you are trying your best. You make each other priority. That's going to be where we go in next. So I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Have a great night. Thank you for unwinding with me and taking the time to sit with me and just, chat about life. Be well and take care of each other and yourself.